Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Akil, and I just got back from watching Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, guys. And going into it, I was a little worried based on the bad rap it was getting, the mixed reviews. But honestly, this is not the worst MC movie. However, I was definitely a little bit disappointed and underwhelmed after walking out the theater because this was one of my most anticipated movies of the year, and for it to be not the greatest thing in the world is sad. So without further ado, guys, let's just jump right into this review. So for my pre-rating score, I'm going to say that Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is a good movie. It's just good, nothing more, nothing less, which is kind of sad because I wanted this to be freaking spectacular. The trailers made it look that way, but it clearly wasn't. So there's that. Now let's just jump right into the story without spoiling too much. This movie is pretty much all in the quantum realm for the most part, and they get stuck there and they have to try and find a way out. But along the way, they come across these different people, different creatures, and some are good, some are bad. And Kang is the main villain. There's also someone else in this movie that I will talk about. I have to talk about that person. And if you've seen the trailers, you see the movie, you know who it is. I'm not going to spoil too much, but my god, that character. Alright, we'll talk about that later. But anyway, they have to try and get out. Kang also wants to get out, and you find out what his real goal is. And all I have to say is that it's not the greatest story in the world. The story could have been a lot more better, but it's just one of those movies where you watch and you just sucked in, and after you walk out, you're like, yeah, that was fun and entertaining. And that's really what this movie is. You're probably not going to think about it like for a while. I mean, you probably kind of have to. I mean, because of where the post credit scenes go and all that, which I won't spoil, of course, because I don't like to spoil my reviews whatsoever. But it just kind of felt like a simple story. So that's that. Now, in terms of the positives, let's start off with the positives. I have to say the action is amazing. I mean, it's Marvel. Marvel knows what they're doing. There were times it did feel like, no pun intended, very small scaled, but it's supposed to be because it's an Ant-Man film. But then suddenly it goes to crazy third act Marvel shenanigans as we tend to expect. But honestly, I felt the action was pretty intense, especially the fight that we see in the trilogies, Ant-Man and Kang fighting in the third act was pretty intense, I have to say. So there's that. Another thing was the heart. This movie, just like the first two, has the heart, and so that you expect it to. And there are sometimes it works, there's sometimes it really doesn't. And yeah, I just thought this movie had heart. And finally, it's funny. It's a funny movie. It's not the funniest MC movie for sure. Hell, the first two Ant-Man movies might be funny, but it's definitely a funny movie. That's how I would say. Now, let's go into the negatives, and I'm gonna jump right into this right away. Now, again, I would not spoil, but MODOK. I don't know what the hell was going on there, but all I'm gonna say is that they did that character in such a very weird way that it's kind of weird. Like, he's menacing when he needs to be. Like, when he puts on the mask, it's great. He actually looks pretty terrifying. But when he's showing his face and who it is, I won't say obviously who it is, but when you watch a movie, you'll be like, wait, what? Really? It's that person? And whenever they showed the face and the face was talking and it was that particular person, I was like, oh my god. And I'm not gonna spoil it, but towards the end of the movie, it becomes so like cringy and cheesy, like, oh my god, they're really doing this, aren't they? Yep, they are definitely doing this. Another thing, speaking of MODOK, this also relates to that. It's the tone. The tone is all over the place in this movie. It's serious when he needs to be, it's funny when he needs to be, and sometimes it doesn't quite work. Sometimes Jonathan Majors is really going for it, and I mean, he's great in the movie, and that's another positive I do want to bring up too. He is great in the movie, but the thing I felt about him at times, I honestly didn't feel like he was the greatest threat that, you know, they could have had for this movie. I mean, yes, obviously Kang is a great villain and all that, but and this is the best villain in the franchise, definitely for sure. But it didn't feel like it was coming off as like why he's the greatest villain ever or something like that. If you get what I mean. So there's that, but that also relates to the tone. At times, it felt like it was going a little bit too overboard. That's just how I feel. Some of the lines of dialogue as well. I don't know what was going on in the writers' room, but there were some lines. There were some lines. Let's just say that. And finally, the pacing. The pacing is also over the place. Sometimes it's slow. Sometimes it's fast. I wish this movie would have slowed down. I wish this movie would have sped up when it needed to. Overall, though, it's a solid, fun ride. That's all I have to say. Do I like this more than the first Ant-Man? Yes. Do I like this? Actually, no, sorry. I don't like this more than first Ant-Man. Do I like this more than Ant-Man and the Wasp? No. Unfortunately, this is probably my least favorite Ant-Man film, which is so sad. I really wanted to like this more than the first two because I just did my MC ranking and I put it below Iron Man as well. So there's that, and Guardians too, which is also crazy. And Ant-Man's higher than those two movies. I know that for a fact. But anyway, this movie could have been so much better. The fact that it's my least favorite Ant-Man film is sad, but I really wanted it to be the best. Overall, as a final score, I'm going to give Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania a 7 out of 10. I really hope Guardians 3 makes up for this. I really hope the Marvels is somewhat good. And what other movies I'm looking forward to, like Oppenheimer, Dune Part 2, man, if those movies fail, if Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 fails, I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, honestly, like, I'm not worried for those movies because I trust the directors, I trust the actors, the filmmakers, the franchise before then. Like, Nolan has a great track record in my opinion. Dune was great, and I love the Mission Impossible franchise. But oh man, the MCU really needs to get that grip together because we have not gotten a damn good MCU movie since Spider-Man No Way Home, which I know Spider-Man No Way Home was great, but that's only one movie. Okay, actually, I love Shang-Chi as well. Shang-Chi, whatever you want to call it. But those are two 9 out of 10 movies. Like, in the Infinity Saga, I mean, between, like, Civil War to, like, the end, even Far From Home, like, some of those movies I'll give a 9. Like, Civil War's a 9, Infinity War's a 9, Endgame's a 9, Far From Home's a 9. This phase, this saga, we only have two 9 out of 10 movies. And we're already in phase 5. And I know phase 4 was over the place. I just wish the MCU would pick themselves back up and really hit the gold once again. But anyway, guys, I'm really excited for Guardians 3, and I really hope the Marvels is good. There you guys have it. 7 out of 10 for Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania. What do you guys think about this movie? Is it your favorite Ant-Man film? What do you think of MODOK and Kang? And also the post-credit scene. Those are very interesting, I should say. That's all I have to say for now. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. My name's Akil, otherwise known as the Comic Director, and I'm signing out.